Hello, it's Greg Otten with MaritimeGardening.com. This is just a short video to follow up on a goutweed video I did last fall, probably in October I think, where I covered this area of my garden with leaf bags and the leaves that were in them. I put the leaf bags down and the leaves on top and tried to smother with the goutweed. You can see here that some of it has come through as I anticipated, and in the video I said I'm going to do this again and again and again until it's done, but there's really not much coming through here. I mean, this is late July, so it's had a lot of summer, and it would have come through by now if it was going to come through. So most of this, it was smothered out. So it's a partial success, and that's all I anticipated. It's not a one-shot solution to the problem. So here I am, I'm just going around the perimeter here inspecting to see if the goutweed roots reached out any further from the center area where they had been, and I didn't really see much of that. That green stuff at my feet there looks like goutweed, but it's blackberry canes. I got a variety of blackberry that seems to just grow everywhere like crazy here, and it'll probably take over this area once I'm kind of confident that I've eliminated the blackberry. I'm just pulling out all the weeds here so I can see there's another little bit of goutweed there. See if there's any. I've sped this video up, but this whole operation took 10 minutes. So yeah, I'm just going around the perimeter, trying to find, there's a bit of rhubarb there, but trying to find the goutweed. Actually, the rhubarb, the reason there was goutweed in this area, I planted a patch of, my original intention for this area of my property was to be a rhubarb patch, and the rhubarb that I got from a friend or from Kijiji, I can't recall now, had goutweed in it, and I didn't notice that or realize it until quite late. I may have even thought it was parsley initially. I can't recall, but anyway, a year or two in, the whole area was covered in this weird weed that was not parsley. It was goutweed, and that was a problem. And not only that, but I'd moved the rhubarb to other parts of my property, and I had goutweed there as well. So I've been using this approach to eliminate the goutweed, and it's working. It doesn't work in one go, but if you keep at it, it works, and it's cheap, and it's time. It doesn't take a lot of your time, right? I mean, this whole area, I cover an area here about, I don't know, 6 feet by 12 feet. I covered the whole thing in about 10 minutes, and I used bags of leaves that someone threw away, so it cost nothing. It took almost no time, and in a lot of my videos I'll mention time. I'll talk about it took this long or it took that long, and the reason I do that is not because I'm obsessed with time. It's because when I talk to people on the street or whatever, they all say, oh, I'd love to have a garden, but I don't have the time. And a lot of these things, I think there's a perception that they're time consuming, but they really don't take a lot of time. I mean, I got these bags on the road between my house and town, so I wasn't going out looking for bags. I was just on my way to the grocery store or on my way to work or whatever, and on the way home I said, hey, there's some bags, so I grabbed them because that person didn't want them. Threw them in the back of the truck or back of the car if you have a car, and as soon as I get a few minutes to run it in the backyard, I'll do this. 10-15 minutes and you're done. So here I am just laying them out. I've sped it up a little bit just so the video doesn't take forever. I just want to do a quick little video to follow. People want me to follow up on that stuff, so I'm following up. You got to make sure you overlap the different layers, right? Otherwise, that's where it's going to come through. So I'm doing this now, and in the fall, when people throw away their leaves, I'm going to do it again. Even if I see nothing come through, I'm going to hit it one more time. And then I'll just keep an eye on it next spring of 2018, and see what happens. Hopefully nothing happens and it's done. But I think this is just this is the way to go at it. It's not a one application solution. I don't know that there are any. I've seen people cover goutweed with plastic bags and it still finds its way through. And this is so much better because the paper is going to break down. This is just 2-ply craft paper, just heavy woven paper. There's nothing on it other than paper. I thought there was, but I did a bunch of research, and as far as I can tell, it's just paper. But it still seems to hold up for a while. I mean, in the spring, I took a look at it. It was still there. Most of the paper hadn't broken down. And even now, there's still some paper underneath all of that. When I was digging around, some of the paper had not broken down. So certainly it'll hold up for a month or so, long enough to kill a lot of shoots. And that's all you're doing. It's just an iterative process where you're wearing down, weakening the roots that are trying to keep that plant alive. The plant has established itself in the ground, and the roots are trying to send foliage up so they can gather energy from the sun. They got lots of water, but without the sun, they can't get anywhere. They can't grow. They need the sun to live. So you're blocking out the sun by putting this paper on top, but B, you're preventing the plant from sending new foliage up to gather sun energy. And that's the real benefit of this nice paper. And I mean, you can use, there's lots of different kinds of things you can use to put down. It's just, I figure since people are throwing these away, it makes the most sense to use something that's free, or you're repurposing a resource. You're taking pressure off your local landfill, however important that is to you. And there's just an elegance to that approach that I enjoy. I'm doing it for free, I'm doing it quickly, and I'm reusing something. I would recommend you use scissors. I'm using a sharp knife here. It's probably very dangerous, but it's just I couldn't find I've got a good pair of scissors I like to use for things like this. I couldn't find them anywhere. Of course, I found them about an hour after I finished. That's always the way of things. But and if you're going to use a knife, I'd recommend a neck knife, because if you set your knife down on the ground, it's gone. You're never going to see it again. Anyway, that's how I did it. Didn't take long at all. And I just pat it down with a little bit of a stick here. I couldn't find my rake. I knew where my rake was. It's on the other side of the property, but I just used a stick. Hope you enjoyed the content. Check out next time. Check out my podcast, maritimegardening.com. Thanks for watching.